and PZR feeder team in AD2L Season 29. PZR going for the Kunkka, and they also ban out Witch Doctor instead of Jakiro. Looks like PZR might be looking to pick Jakiro themselves. Oh wait, never mind. Savage Sabers ban out Jakiro. They ban out Underlord as well. Same ban coming from Savage Saber and PZR. The only difference is the supports that they banned and their second bans. Really interesting to see what these two teams might be displacing or showcasing in this game 2. If you have just joined the stream or just joined watching the game, game 1 was won by Savage Sabers, and we are in game 2 right now. PZR steal the pick away from Savage Sabers. They claim the Lich for themselves and deny the pick for Lich on the side of Savage Sabers. Savage Sabers might be looking ahead to pick Grandma again. Did really well in laning phase, was really tanky in the mid game as well. Looks like Savage Sabers go for the Sanking, a classic, the Reaper pick. Most likely is going to be offlane Sanking without any doubt.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Rubik being picked on the side of PZR. Looks like PZR wants to punish any kind of heavy spell users from the side of Savage Sabers and just send it back. I personally don't really like the support pick of PZR. Anytime I see a support pick coming from any team, I would like to see a stun in them, and not only just a lift or a hold ability on them, so that they can be able to do a lot of damage. But if they do pick a really good offlaner who is active and not like a Tidehunter, I think Tidehunter did not hit the right spot for them last game. He was able to do really good ravages, but it still didn't seem enough for the side of PZR to pull off event. And Snapfire being picked up by Savage Sabers. Looks like it's going to be a Snapfire and Sanking offlane duo from the side of Savage Sabers. Nothing too surprising from the team of Savage Sabers. Maybe it could be a Rubik mid. Jamie played really well on the line mid. He was able to kind of win mid lane. The only reason he died once was because Snapfire came in for rotation and Pang was able to do overwhelming damage. But Lion was killing and was a threat throughout the game. So if he's able to do the same thing with this Rubik, it could be a bit overwhelming for the side of Savage Sabers. Nature Prophet and Void Spirit and Faceless Void being banned on the side of PZR. They were Gav played really well on the Void. He did have small misplays where he went and died and overestimated his strength. But he did have nice chronos, got 2 or 4 main targets in the chrono, and gave the Snapfire enough time to just kill them off. Really interested on why Nature Prophet is being banned on the side of against the Savage Sabers. I'm not sure if they have a Nature Prophet player. Maybe they just picked up a new play or something, and PZR is aware of such condition. Void Spirit being banned on the side of PZR. If you have Rubik and Lich as your support and the enemy has a Void Spirit, it's pretty much a death sentence for your support duo, because his Void Spirit is just gonna jump around these supports and kill them. Sniper Medusa banned from Savage Sabers. If I'm not mistaken, PZR has a Medusa player. I think I saw it in one of their games against FOTP. And Medusa is just scary. Medusa is the punisher of overextension from any kind of team. Jug ban again from Savage Sabers. They don't want to PZR to get these really heavy damage team fight oriented heroes against them. Looks like that's something they really don't want to deal with. And Juggernaut just destroys the lane of Sanking and Snapfire. by using the spin. Sorry about that. Just stretching my neck out. I think Savage Sabers should pick a Treant or something. Treant is still there. Looks like they go for the Ogre Magi. Interesting. They're taking a pick from PZR. PZR stole their Lich, and now Savage Sabers are stealing the Ogre Magi. It looks like they're going for this red draft. But Ogre Magi is a attack speed infuser to any core. He's like a extra drug to enhance the performance of any core. That is there. Lifestealer, the same concept as Juggernaut, uses raids to dodge the whole combo of Sanking Snapfire. But if you don't use that rage fast enough and Grandma is able to cookie someone onto you, or the Sanking is able to burst strike, you might be looking at your death sentence right there. Savage Sabers, again, they have that kill trio: Sanking, Snapfire, Ogre Magi, 3 stunts, and if you use them one after another, it's pretty much death on any of them. And the lineup or the supports of Savage Saber are more tankier compared to the supports of PZR. Phantom Assassin being taken by Savage Sabers. They want last time Ogre and PA were picked by PZR. I even thought Ogre and Phantom Assassin would be laning in the same lane because you need some kind of babysitter or a tanker who can tank all the damage coming from the enemy onto someone instead of the PA, so the PA can safely farm. 2 picks stolen from the side of PZR, and it's a classic duo between Lifestealer PA. Lifestealer doesn't want to fight a PA before MKB, and PA can just keep nuking this Lifestealer. Legion Commander being picked from the side of PZR. I'm not sure if I like this pick too much. This Grandma has freed Realm now. The last game there was a tide to stop any kind of ult from fully being used, and Snapfire had to be careful. But now, as long as she's in the fog or uses Glimmer Cape then ults, both the supports from PZR should not be able to stop the full-on Mortimer's Kiss from Snapfire. But Legion Commander makes sense. It's a PA. As long as you duel the PA with Blade Mail, PA self-kills himself. So as long as he's careful, he should be fine. But if he's not, it's going to be a certain death for him. Seven Sabers need someone who can do tower damage. Their tower damage seems to be lacking, especially with the Sanking offlane. The only 2 people who will be sufficiently hitting the towers will be Phantom Assassin and Snapfire. I think Savage Sabers might be looking to pick a Leshrac. They have shown it in week 1 that Darkwalker's Leshrac is a force to be reckoned with if he gets ahead, and it does a lot of tower damage, so they can go for this early game. Ursa even being banned on the side of PZR. Interesting ban. Maybe they're thinking it's a mid Ursa that possibly can come, or maybe the pick that they might be going right now after the last ban from Savage Sabers might be countered by this Ursa. So maybe a Monkey King. If it's a mid monkey, he usually has trouble playing as Ursa because the Fury Swipe's reset time is actually more compared to the MK's Jingo Mastery. Savage Sabers go for the last ban, Zeus. Same 2 bans, Viper and Zeus, that come from Savage Saber. It doesn't look like a bad Pango game. There's the disable is not that much. It's mostly magical disable, so the Pango shouldn't have much of a hard time. Disarm on the Legion Commander makes the duels really hard. Pango and Leshrac looking really good for Savage Sabers. Let's see what PZR are gonna go for. They need tower damage. Lifestealer does not do much tower damage. They do have LC, but if LC doesn't have good tower damage, it might be a problem. Death Prophet looking really good for PZR. If they have a Death Prophet player, they should go for it. I'm not sure if DP's ult misses on PA because of the blur, because Death Prophet's ult is a physical damage. So that's the only concern I might have against Death Prophet into PA and the Sunburst that might come from this PA. There's also Quap. Again, the same problem, no tower damage, but you have this global presence. You can just get these LC, a lot of duels every time both your ults are on CD. Just keep going around, killing people with your support duo who can lift into a duel and just keep a lot of damage and pressure and get this LC, a lot of duel to be the tower dominator. There's Lena, tower damage. Good against the Phantom Assassin. Can LSA the Snapfire if she roughly knows where the Snapfire might be. Bit squishy, so might die from Sanking Burst Strike ult. And the last pick is Windranger. Very interesting. I'm not sure how excited I am about this Windranger being picked up. It does do tower damage, so it does check one of the boxes. It gains them crowd control, maybe a lucky shackle shot on the Snapfire, stopping the ult. A really high kill threat onto the Phantom Assassin with this early MKB from the Windranger, and PA gets shredded every time he is ulted. PA is most likely going to go for a Deso, BKB, MKB kind of game. I actually would completely even skip the Deso, go for MKB, BKB, and just rely on the armor corruption and a medallion from the side of Savage Sabers. They can even go for medallion, solar crest, so that they have two ways to remove armor, which will equivalent to a same or similarity of a Deso. I think Leshrac looks really well. Good against Windranger mid. Might be a bit problematic when the Windranger does dive the Leshrac with Focus Fire, but high magical damage, doesn't care about blur. And it's a Timbersaw from Savage Sabers, most likely a mid Timbersaw. I know that Darth Walker plays Timbersaw a lot. Very interesting. Oh, it is a mid Rubik, people. It is a mid Rubik, pause 4 Windranger, and a pause 5 Lich. I honestly, I'm not sure how to feel about this. Jamie played really well, Lion, but it was against a Pango who's really squishy, but he's about to go against the Timber Darth Walker, who is beefy and loves to dive the tower. So, game 2 between in AD2L Season 29 between PZR Feeder Team versus Savage Saber, where PZR Feeder Team pick one more support mid. And they pick a Windranger pause 4, but they have an LC with this Windranger. They don't have any kind of stunner in the lane, so I'm not sure how potent this lane duo of Windranger LC might be. But it is against a PA, so it might be a bit harassive against PA. Maybe they should change the lane up. I'm not sure how well PA Ogre does against Lifestealer Lich, but it is far more better than a PA going against this LC Windranger. I don't think PA will be able to get any last hits if this Ogre plays really well. If Graphics is able to zone out these two people at the same time, maybe the PA can farm, but if not, it will be a hard time for Gab Print farm. You already know which lane I will be looking at. It will be the mid lane, Rubik versus Timber. So let's get this on. Game 2 between